Welcome to the Voice of Grace Lightlooper and Cycle Witch podcast.
I am Grace Lightlooper, a multi-dimensional vocal channel, singer and soul activation coach. Through my work, I guide souls to unlock the power of their voice, connect with their soul's frequency, and reactivate their ancient magic. I run transformational online and in-person containers, online voice activation courses, and much more. All of these can be found on my website. Now, this magical episode is co-hosted with my soul sister Beth. She is an artist, a mystic and healer, and goes by the name of Cycle Witch. Today we dive into our journey together as soul sisters, so get ready for a journey of connection, realizations, and transformation.
Okay, we've set our intentions.
What were your intentions, Grace?
Oh, I've got to remember them all. For this podcast to go, I remember swimmingly was one of them.
Funly,
Joyfully, transformationally, inspirationally, peacefully, maybe,
yeah,
and swimmingly.
yeah. I did nothing the first time round.
Audibly perfect. I'll just add that.
Yes.
Audibly and visually perfect.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cycle Witch.
Cheers, lightly, Bob.
Okay, here we are.
Having a cozy cacao.
Yes. It must have been last summer when we first started to record podcast material.
It was, yes. I like the tree.
Like, as in 2024. Summer.
Yeah, 2024.
Okay. And we were going to put some stuff out, but I think there was a couple of things where, like, the sound wasn't right. It was really, really windy. And
I mean, a couple of rookies doing a podcast outside under a tree in a field.
Yeah.
We did take some lovely photos, though.
We did, and I found them the other day.
Did you? Me too.
Really?
Yeah, I was scrolling back to find something and I was like,
Me
oh my
too,
God,
that's so
funny.
Because it was literally like 2 days ago that you suggested we should resurrect this from the
flames.
Yeah, and that's so funny. Oh, what if we found it at like exactly the same time? Planted the seed.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to believe that.
Yeah, I mean, stranger things have happened at sea.
Stranger things have happened just in our lives.
On land. All right. Oh, so yeah, we did the podcast then, and then didn't quite feel right to put anything out. And I feel like, even though it's good to have a record of change and evolution, I feel like something about that was just not quite, I don't know, like representative of who we are now. And I would rather like reflect back on that from where we're at now.
I think we've both, me especially, evolved a lot since last summer. Like, there's been a lot.
Yeah.
Was that pre-Essex retreat or post?
Yeah, that was before you had the ceremony, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that changed my whole life, really.
Yes, it did. Yeah, we're referring to a plant medicine that we have both connected to that has been very revolutionary in both of our soul evolutions, really. So, yeah, I had just connected to that medicine at the time because I remember mentioning it on the podcast, and then the sound cut out. So I was like, all right, it's not time to mention this.
Yeah.
And since you have connected to that, and yeah, I feel like I've just seen you just like a snake, but more dramatic, more flamboyant.
A flamboyant snake.
You know, Beth, the flamboyant snake. Oh, that Beth, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I feel like...
I don't imagine myself as a snake, I've got to be honest.
No, I was trying to think of something that like breaks... Well, I like a caterpillar to a butterfly. I don't know. It's really cliche.
Yeah.
Though,
all right,
isn't it?
Okay, I get it now.
Like, it feels like since last summer, you've just like, I don't know, like burst out. Like your soul has just started to express itself in ways that I had never seen before. And it's just amazing. It's just like, I think you might be the person that I've seen like the most transformation in the shortest amount of time.
Oh.
And it's amazing. Like, I love it. And I love it when you just ring me with your little updates and like synchronicities and shifts that you've had and all of those like happy moments that sometimes when we're on this journey, it's a bit fucking hard to find them moments.
Yeah.
And it's a bit hard to celebrate them sometimes as well, I think. Yeah.
Well, as I have maintained all along, I would not be where I am now if I didn't get to watch you go first.
Go first. That's such a good way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like going first, like really.
I mean, somebody's got to, right?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then you get to choose, hey, am I drawn to that too, or am I not? And I think, you know, we obviously had connection over similarities and interests before that, but yeah, it's something this journey is something I never would have even thought was possible if I didn't see it happening for you. And it very much not in that kind of like, well, I want that as well, just in like I'm aware of this thing, like watching you and all the things you've been through over the last few years, just watching you and being like, wow, that's so amazing, and just being so excited to see that journey for you. And then at some point things started to resonate for me as well, and I was like, wait, hang on. It's happening to me.
Oh,
So yeah, but I wouldn't have even been aware of it. So
that's really amazing, and thank you so much for sharing that and continuing to share that, because it's really helpful for me to keep remembering that the way that I operate through my life and the way I navigate through that, I think it's so easy for me to sometimes forget where I've come from and now where I'm at now, and how much of an impact that does have on people. And especially like with social media and stuff, you know, I'm putting stuff out all the time and transmissions and a little bit of wisdom here and there, and I often think like, is anyone even looking at this? Is anyone seeing this? Or what am I doing this for? But it's that's the part of the brain that's like, well, if there's no instant gratification, then it's like rendered useless. But it's then when I see people in person and they mention to me like, you really transformed my day with that video, and then obviously I have feedback from people like you, which is like, I know those times when I've been tested, when I first had my light language activated and we would spend time together, and I know it was a time when it was so new to both of us really, but I had the activation. You, I think, hadn't heard of it at that time, and I was having like spirit guiding me for healings for you, and I remember there being a few around your throat, and like I remember thinking, I don't want to do this because she'll think I'm crazy, or she'll think, I don't know what the exact story was, but I know that there was a lot for me to push through, because I've always kind of said that you and my beloved Connor are the two people that I care about your opinions a lot, and maybe like the most, but not in a superficial way, in like a soul way. It's like, if you two resonate with what I'm doing, then it's like, okay, then the world is ready for this. It's like that kind of feeling. And so I remember me. I remember, like pushing through those moments of like, I've got these activations and I want to share them with you, and I want to share this part of me with you, like this side of me that you hadn't kind of yet fully seen, that I'd only kind of exposed to like my partner in ceremony. And that was like a really massive moment for me to be able to then share it with others, to be able to share it with you. You were like my stepping stone. So it's so beautiful because, you know, we're all serving each other in every moment, in every interaction. no matter what we think, like, oh, but I've given more to that person, or they've given more to me and I've taken more, like we're in such an equal exchange all the time. So that this journey with you has been so rich for me, because it's allowed me to just like break through those places of like, this is socially unacceptable, she's gonna think you're mental, to actually then seeing this fucking huge transformation in you with the light language activations and those shifts. So yeah, thank you for being my mirror and my cheerleader.
Shaking my shakapas for you.
I was just looking at the shakapa over there.
Oh, what a beautiful way to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, we were going to do an intro for ourselves.
Yeah, I was just thinking, should we do it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? No, you go first.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to go first.
Oh, good, because I don't want to go first.
So, my name is Beth. I am a human being.
Over to you, Grace.
I'm an artist. And it's that saying I'm an artist has been a whole journey. But I'm an artist. I paint under two names. One is Bicotino Artist, and the other is Cycle Witch. Thank you, Bob, to come to say hello, the cat. Cycle Witch is very new for me. It is my first foray into creating art for me.
Yeah.
I've predominantly worked on commission, painting portraits and anything else that I can get paid for, essentially, for many, 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 many years. So Cycle Witch has become a new venture where I paint the things which I'm drawn to, and it's going well, I think. What else am I? I'm a mum.
Mum, yeah. Bloody good mum.
Oh, shush.
Yeah, you know you are.
Yeah, mum to a 9-year-old girl. I am a very sociable person. I put a lot on connection. I believe connection is the best way to be a human. There's never been a point in my life where I've thought, I just don't want to be around people. There's been times where people have upset me and I've thought, God, no, I don't want to be near you.
Not that human. I'll connect with the rest of them though.
But yeah, it's very much becoming very clear that is a really big part of how I work. And trusting that, you know, we need to connect so that we can grow, so that we can see our mirrors, so that we can be triggered.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying the process of leaning into that. It's like something I've had people call me out before and be like, oh, you're so sociable, you're just avoiding being on your own and things like that. And actually, I've always been very comfortable on my own. I've just always preferred to be around people.
Thrived around people.
Yeah, thrived, yeah. And that's not the case for everybody. But after spending years being like, oh, maybe I do just rely on others for validation all the time and I can't be on my own. I'm very much at a place where I'm like, I really love being on my own, but I especially love being around people.
Yeah.
The right ones, anyway.
Yeah, I think we both have that in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, I resonate with that a lot. Yeah.
So what else am I, Grace? What else am I? I'm many things.
I think, like, I see you now as, I'm going to say, like, some kind of energy healer, because I feel like there's a lot under the energy healing umbrella. But essentially, like, your ability to like tap into that energy and that healing energy and that intuition that you have to sense in others on a physical level, like where their blocks are and what needs to be done, is like profound, because that's only come online for you like really recently, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
and you've done a bit of energy work on me, and it's like been fucking profound. Like, so profound. And I'm like, I know I often turn to you and I'm like, do you realize what you just done? Like, do you realize how much you just shifted? Like, releasing entities from my energy, and like, yeah, seeing those gifts in you is like amazing, because I really see it on this, like, it's a real, also a like specific niche thing that you have an ability for, that like physical touch. Like, when I'm working with people, I'm very much like drawn to like the sound frequencies and the kind of like auric field, and you know, the ancestral and the soul energies, which tend to not be too like touch based. So it's like really nice for me to be with someone who is very like somatic and touch based, and like my partner is the same. So it's like, it's really, I love it, and I'm in awe of it, because that's not how I experience energy as such. So it's really cool. Like, I just love watching you work, like in your mystic cycle witch ways.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it has been so recent, so recent. It's literally been, I think on some level it's always been there.
Yeah, definitely.
But the acknowledgement and the unlocking has been, I mean, really only a matter of months.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have been putting the work in.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've been leaning into it. I've been leaning into it at home.
Yeah.
And, you know, amalgamizing my practices and kind of being like, right, I feel like I need to do this thing. And they're things I never did before. So
yeah, something's guiding you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm a human on a human journey.
Let's go back to circle back to the intro.
Yeah. Where does my name come from?
Do tell us, Beth. Where does Cycle Witch come from?
I actually explained this to somebody earlier, because I was showing them my 2 Instagram profiles for my artwork, and she was like, "Oh, that's a really cool name. Where did you get that?" And I was like, "I did an acid trip on a bicycle." And she was like,
in a really cool dress.
Okay.
That was fully spirit, like, well, I mean, it's all spirit now, isn't it, when you reflect back on these psychedelic trips?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, had that name come through before I saw you cackle it out?
No, it was that day.
Oh my God, I need to paint this freaking picture then. So so I was there on the acid trip. So we were there, may or may not have interacted with some psychedelics. The hole has been dug way too deep already. So then we went on a bike ride, and Beth kind of like, I don't know how, you just sort of like excelled quite far in front of me. And then we went under these like massive brick arches, which is like the train line goes over the top of. So they're really like big and echoey. And then she just like, her big black dress is like flapping in the wind, and she just howls out, "I am Cycle Witch!" And then in my version, like speeds off like she's on a broomstick, just like on this bike, just like and I can't really remember much else about that day other than the moth that I was scared of.
Oh yes, yeah.
The terrifying moth. But other than that, that's such a prominent memory for me. You just calling out your name and like declaring it to the world. Oh, it was such a monumental moment. But then it was only like, we kind of joked about the name, didn't we, for a bit? And then it's in the last like few months, I was like, Bev, like, that's your spirit name. Like, there's something more to this than just a funny trip name.
Definitely.
Because it sums you up so much in so many ways.
Have you seen, there is somebody else called Cycle Witch on Instagram. And it's very funny because I've had several people go to look at my Instagram and then go, oh, this isn't you.
Oh, no. What?
So I'm cycle.witch and this
Right.
person is Cycle Witch.
Right.
And it's very different type of profile. I
Right.
great respect. Like, I absolutely love it. It's
Right.
like all to do with female cycles.
Right.
But
Makes sense.
that's not what people expect when they are looking for art.
Right. Right. Okay. So if you want to look Beth up, cycle.which on Instagram. Yeah, and then your other Instagram is B Cotino Artist. No, is it?
Yeah.
B Cotino Artist.
Yeah, Bicotino Artist.
Hopefully I will remember and put the link in the description.
Oh, that's exciting. isn't it?
Description. I can actually say that now. I'm doing a thing.
I don't think I've ever heard of how you got your name.
Oh, yay! I love how I got my name. I'm looking right at it right now. So I got my loop station about 4 years ago. So for those of you who don't know, who might have just jumped in on this without seeing any of my other content, I can't imagine how on earth you would find it that way, but here we go. I am Grace Light Looper. I'm a vocal frequency channel and I'm a singer, and I do a lot of work on my loop station, do a lot of channelings on there, a lot of fun songs. So I got my looper 4 years ago. Absolutely freaking fell in love with it. And I was using it to like make all different songs, and I was also using it to like my light language transmissions. And when you turn it on, like all the rings, all the circles light up like in a little circle. They kind of loop, right? So I think just one day I was like, oh, I'm looping the light. And then I was like, light looper. And then it was just like a moment of like, I am Light Looper. And first of all, it was just like an Instagram name change because I was previously just like Grace Alban Art because all my artwork was on there. And then it really felt like this knowing. And it, to be honest, it was like one of the first times that I'd actually had a real intuitive knowing about something, because for so long, all through my years, I've like created different businesses with different names, different identities that tried to escape versions of me as I was growing up. And this one was like fucking solid. I was like, this is it. This is it now until I die. Light Looper. So yeah, I changed my Instagram name, and then I was like, I've since had people channeling that it's my spirit name as well. So I was like, that's really cool, because I know that people go on like quests and journeys and all sorts to try and get their spirit name. So I really love that we both have had ours drop in at really awesome moments, like really awesome times of just like in a real, I don't know, in a way, in a real like gentle way as well, like not like someone else being like, this is your spirit name, whether you fucking like it or not. Like, because I know some people are given names that they're like, whoa, okay, need to adjust to that. But I really love how both of ours have come through, just like gently. It's like, you can use it if you want or not. But I love it. I love it. Light Looper, yeah. Yay. I was putting Light Looper on everything, and then I decided to then put Grace Light Looper because I in my opinion, I do have like the best name. I love the name Grace so much. So it feels crazy to like not use the name Grace on stuff.
I agree.
So yeah, that's where we're at. Cycle Witch and Light Looper. We quite regularly meet up and journey together, ceremony together, chat together, laugh together, and it feels really good to actually finally put the goddamn microphone on and record stuff together. And I'd like to think,
how often do we say the phrase, damn it, we should have been recording that conversation?
Yeah, this should be a podcast. Yes, very often. Yeah.
What made you drawn to do a podcast? Like, what triggered it for you? I know what mine was.
What, this time around? Because I've got like 2 other episodes out there. Do you know what? I instantly just want to be like, I just fucking love talking.
I mean,
just
both. Like,
love
same.
talking.
We both love talking. We
do it
a
so
lot.
well. We do it so often. We've got so much experience in the field of talking.
We're really qualified in talking.
This is why we probably both thrive with connecting with other people.
Yeah.
Because, like...
But don't you... Like, so there are times I really struggle to talk to other people. Like, it's got to be the right people.
Yeah. Like, on the same frequency.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just depleting.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, that's
actually
difficult.
makes me want to just crawl into a hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
For me, the big thing that I was like, oh my God, podcasts, is because I'm not a podcast listener in general
Right.
until last year. And I started listening to Help Hole.
Yes, the one you
By-
suggested to
yeah.
me. I've listened to some of them.
Yeah. And I mean, what they talk about nourishes me so much. I'm actually re-listening to them at the moment.
Oh.
And it really kind of, I was like, oh my God, they're talking about like all these like self-help books and like theories and their own experiences and stuff. And it, for me, listening to them, it was like listening to 2 friends just having a chat around a theme, and it just made me so happy.
Yeah.
And then like the way me and you talk about our journeys, it just made sense to me to be like, of course we should make a podcast,
Yeah.
because I mean, this is big-headed, but I think it's really interesting.
Yes, I do too, Beth, actually. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it really, would we? So
Exactly.
we must have some faith in what we have to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sometimes I hear myself and I'm like, I sound so like harsh when I talk, but I'm just like really passionate. Oh. But anyway, that's just some like raw authenticity for you there, guys. See, I still have blocks around my own throat chakra. Ah. Lord.
Dearie me. So, where do we want to go today?
Right. Well, we've been recording for 26 minutes already.
So, do we want to make that like an intro episode?
Yeah, I reckon we should wrap this up now. This is how raw this podcast is, guys. You're literally
So raw. So
so
raw.
raw, but so authentic. Like totally no bullshit. Yeah, we didn't plan.
We have no plan, but at the end of the day, that I think is awesome.
That's
because it
life.
means we can.
Yeah.
But so this is episode 1,
Yeah.
and what are we planning to do in future episodes? If somebody listens to this and they're like, oh, they sound really cool.
Oh, do you know what I've always loved the idea of? People just sending us like a topic or suggestion, like, can you 2 talk about this for half an hour?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I love that idea. I love it. So
Yeah.
please send your answers on a postcard. I mean, questions, not answers. We'll do the answering. We're in charge of that bit.
But I think, what people could expect if they wanted to listen to us more often would be conversations around personal growth,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
conversations.
Oh, yeah. Transformation.
Transformation, spirituality,
Yes, absolutely.
journeying.
Yeah. And I love the idea of like talking about how we both move through like triggers and difficulties, really, and the density that life throws at us. I would like to explore that. All those kind of juicy topics. And yeah, how we've got to where we are today and how we're like maintaining that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, it's quite a big pot of soup, really,
Yeah.
of things that we want to talk about. But I think it's a pretty freaking awesome pot of soup. Here's me
Yeah.
with my pot of soup.
I feel like it does all like narrow down to like just transformation. Like
Yeah.
for me, that journey and healing. Yeah. All right. Should we wrap this one up?
Yeah.
And then record loads more.
I feel like we need a jingle.
I've got a jingle on there, babe. It's all saved. It's ready to
What?
go. Actually, I say I'm unprepared and haven't planned, but actually, behind the scenes,
You totally have.
I'm so organised. Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. I'll see you in the next podcast.
See you soon.
Bye. Bye.